Alright guys, the Elimination Chamber was earlier this morning in Australia, so this is my recap. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to be spoiling it if you still want to watch it, so don't go forward. Here's my recap of the event. Drew McIntyre won the Men's Royal Rumble. I'm not really surprised by this. I was expecting it. I thought when it came down to him and Randy Orton, the final two, perhaps they'd have Orton go to WrestleMania, but this really wasn't surprising. I kind of had a feeling they'd do this. Overall, it was a good match. Let me get into the highlights of the match. Probably the most surprising part of the match was AJ Styles coming literally out of nowhere when Lashley got eliminated. He came in through the cage and started beating the shit out of LA Knight with a chair. I thought this was pretty good. They obviously set up a WrestleMania match off this, so I'd be really surprised if this wasn't a match at WrestleMania. And they kind of had to do this. I mean, they have all these guys who they want to keep relevant, who aren't in the title picture, like AJ Styles, like LA Knight, like Randy Orton, but they really don't have a spot right now, so I thought this was a good idea. It should be a really, really good match, so I was happy with this one. Probably the next most significant thing in the match was Logan Paul knocking out Randy Orton with brass knuckles after getting an RKO. I thought this was also a good idea because this sets up another WrestleMania match, so they ended up getting 3 WrestleMania matches out of this match. Logan Paul, Randy Orton will be another good match. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, why do you have Randy Orton win? Because, you know, I think really the whole reason he came back is to push guys like Logan Paul. Logan Paul, look, I'm not a Logan Paul guy. I'm not really a fan of his, but he's an unbelievable professional wrestler. I mean, he's literally like the perfect professional wrestler. He gets heat from the crowd. He's really athletic. He got the shit beat out of him in this match. So I thought this was a really good ending. I think it adds a lot of intrigue to WrestleMania, and they got really 2 good matches out of this in addition to Drew McIntyre winning. The segment with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins was okay, I guess. I mean, they really just needed a way to get them both on the show somehow. And Grayson Waller's from Australia, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, this kind of segment is more for the crowd than it is for the fans watching on TV. You know, they only get to see them probably once in your life if you're from Australia. So I thought this was pretty good. You know, you got a little bit of action, but it was a good segment. Rounding it out, Becky Lynch won the Women's Elimination Chamber, which was to be expected, and Rhea Ripley retained her title in the main event. Since she's from Australia, she got the main event. Overall, I thought it was a good event. I think it was pretty entertaining. You know, the early wake-up time, it's on a Saturday, so who really cares? And it's pretty, pretty obtainable being on streaming. So overall, I thought it was a good event. I think they did the best they could leading into WrestleMania. I have a feeling CM Punk was supposed to win this match if he didn't get hurt, and they kind of pivoted. But they're doing the best they could. Like I said, they got 3 matches out of this. They got Drew McIntyre against Seth Rollins. I think they'll add Sami Zayn into that, but maybe we'll see. And then they also got Logan Paul versus Randy Orton, and they got LA Knight versus AJ Styles, which I think are both 2 really good matches that don't have titles involved. So that's my recap of the Elimination Chamber. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I thought it was a good event. It was solid. Yeah. I guess the last point I'll make is it was held in this new stadium in Perth, Australia. And I got to be honest, I don't know how appealing this show would be. I know if you're from Australia, you've got to go. You rarely get this kind of show. But if this kind of thing was held in the United States in a football stadium, I don't know if I'd want to go to this type of show. There really are no good seats in the entire house. Even if you sit, up close like these people, you're sitting in a folding chair for hours at a time. So I kind of would rather, I think, go to a Raw show if I was paying big money and sitting up close at a Raw show or a different pay-per-view. But that's my recap. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.